Senate Republicans are pushing an aggressive timeline to vote on a major overhaul of the U.S. tax code by Friday, but Congress official tax scorekeeper is racing too, and that could pose a problem for the GOP. The nonpartisan Joint Committee on Taxation plans to release a final estimate of the Senate bill's impact on the debt as early as Wednesday night. And when they do, the deficit hawks who hold the bill's fate in their hands will be watching closely. To me, the big issue is, how are we dealing with debt and deficit? Do we have realistic numbers? Sen. James Lankford, R. Oklahoma, said Monday. Lankford is one of at least 4 senators who have expressed major unease with how much the tax cut bill will add to the nation's $20 trillion debt. If the report shows a hefty addition to the debt, a few Republican senators might abandon the bill or demand large changes. Republicans can't afford to lose more than 2 GOP senators, an extremely thin margin. Even without the tax bill, America's debt is expected to balloon to $31 trillion by 2027 as baby boomers age and the government pays out more for Social Security and Medicare. The Joint Committee on Taxation, the nonpartisan analysts charged with estimating the costs of any tax bill, have already put out an initial report saying that the Senate GOP plan would add just over $1.4 trillion to America's debt by 2027, bringing the total debt to $32.4 trillion. But President Donald Trump and many Republican leaders say that forecast is too high because it does not account for any growth from the tax bill. The analysis junction plans to release as early as Wednesday would be a dynamic score that factors in all the growth that's expected to come from businesses and families taking their tax savings and saving or reinvesting the money. The Republican push to rewrite the tax code gained momentum Tuesday after a Senate panel advanced the measure and several wavering lawmakers signaled that they are leaning toward backing the bill. Republicans on the Senate Budget Committee unanimously voted to send the party's tax package to the Republican push to rewrite the tax code gained momentum Tuesday after a Senate panel advanced the measure and several wavering lawmakers signaled that they are leaning toward backing the bill. Republicans on the Senate Budget Committee unanimously voted to send the party's tax package to the Trump administration contends there will be so much growth that the tax bill will pay for itself entirely, but hardly anyone else is willing to go that far. Nonpartisan economic groups say the tax bill is likely to generate modest economic growth that would pay for a third of the bill's total price tag, if that. The right-leaning Tax Foundation estimated the bill would end up adding about $1 trillion to the debt after accounting for growth. The Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget says the true cost is likely to be over $2 trillion because the country is probably going to have to pay a lot higher interest in the coming years. Basically, China and Japan won't lend the United States money at such cheap rates anymore. Republican leaders plan to vote without waiting for Junction's dynamic score.